All right, welcome back to CBS This Morning. More now of our interview with President Biden's son, Hunter. In Hunter Biden's new memoir, he addresses his lifelong battle with addiction and his family's efforts to save him from himself. Beautiful Things comes out tomorrow. It's published by Gallery Books, an imprint of Simon & Schuster, which is a division of Viacom CBS. We spoke with Biden about the role he says anxiety and trauma played in pushing him to alcohol and crack.
Most people who've gone through what I've gone through are either dead or in jail.
Hunter Biden's battle with addiction began with a feeling of loneliness he says he's felt since he was a child.
It's the feeling of never fitting in. It's that hole, and you don't know what it is exactly.
Where do you think that feeling came from?
I am more convinced now that trauma is at the center of it.
Which trauma? The loss of your mother?
Yeah, I absolutely. And I don't know why I had such a hard time ever admitting that.
Hunter's mother, Nelia Biden, and his one-year-old sister, Naomi, were killed in a car crash in 1972. He and his older brother, Beau, just 2 and 3 at the time, were critically injured but survived. Their father was sworn into his first term as a senator by their hospital bedside.
I think there's a lot of research now that points to the idea that almost all addicts who suffer from addiction have a serious trauma in their lives.
Beau and I, Biden writes, never really grieved the loss of our mother or our baby sister.
You didn't talk about it with your dad either.
We talked about my mom all the time with my dad, but the actual accident, no. The darkness that I know my dad suffered afterwards was not something that we necessarily talked about until much later.
Do you wish you had now?
No. And this is where I am, it's hard.
Yeah.
This is why I don't want to admit that we probably should have. I think they were trying to protect us.
The book chronicles Biden's lifelong struggles with alcohol and cocaine. At one point, he managed to stay clean for more than 7 years. But when his brother Beau died of brain cancer in 2015, Hunter began a 4-year descent into the darkest period of his addiction, what he calls a blur of complete and utter debauchery.
Drinking a quart of vodka a day by yourself in a room is absolutely, completely debilitating.
That was just the beginning.
You're smoking crack around the clock. You're drinking insanely lethal amounts of alcohol.
We want Biden. We want the son, Hunter. Where's Hunter?
By 2019, he'd become a target of the Trump campaign.
10% held by Hunter for the big guy. I wonder who the big guy was. The big guy.
It didn't change my behavior in any way. I still needed to get high.
Yeah.
I still needed to hide. I still needed to fill that hole.
As his father was planning a presidential run, Biden, who'd left behind 3 daughters and a failed marriage, was living out of roadside motels, chasing his next fix. Then the family planned a dramatic intervention, disguised as an invitation to a family dinner.
Why did you agree to go?
My mom said she missed me.
Yeah.
She said, Dad really needs you.
Yeah. But you were not in really any condition to go.
No. I walk in, and there are my 3 girls, my niece and nephew, my mom and dad, and 2 counselors from a rehab center I'd been to before.
Yeah.
And I looked, and I said, not a chance. No way.
You exploded.
I exploded. Literally began to run up the driveway.
And your father chased you?
Yeah. And he grabbed me in a hug, and grabbed me. He gave me a bear hug. And he said, he just cried. He said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
What did you think when you heard that?
I thought, I need to figure out a way to tell him that I'm going to do something so that I can go take another hit.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I could think. I don't know of a force more powerful than my family's love, except addiction. I said I was going to go get help. Booked the next flight to Los Angeles and decided that I was going to completely disappear forever.
But before he disappeared, Biden agreed to an interview with The New Yorker.
And it's part of the thing that saved me, though. I started to tell my story.
A lot of people looked at that New Yorker article and thought, why are you doing this to your dad right now?
Yeah. And I looked at it as I was going to take away their ammunition.
Yeah.
The one thing that I thought that they would try to use against him was my drug addiction. This idea that I was a crack addict.
Yeah. You wanted to put it out there before they could use it against you and against your father.
Exactly. And no one in the campaign knew I was, because I knew they'd say no.
What happened next, Biden calls a miracle. On a blind date, he met Melissa Cohen, an aspiring filmmaker from South Africa. They had an instant connection.
And then I told her an hour later, I said, I'm a crack addict.
And she didn't run away.
She said, well, that ends now.
Did you think it was your last chance?
Yes. I knew it was my last chance.
Just 7 days later, they were married. Last year, their son Beau was born. With Melissa's help, Hunter Biden began to repair the damage. One of the deepest wounds to his family, the affair he had with his brother's widow, Hallie, just after Beau's death.
A lot of people look at that and think, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Both of us had gone through the most incredibly painful loss. And it was out of love, and I thought that maybe that love would bring my brother back.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't work.
In the middle of that, did you think about how your own kids would look at this?
Yeah, and it was hard. That's all I can say. Yeah. It was really hard.
In the nearly 2 years he says he's been sober, Hunter Biden has tried to make amends.
The hardest amend for me to make was to my brother.
Because you couldn't make that in person?
I made a promise to him that I'd be okay.
You felt like you let him down?
Yeah.
So how do you make peace with that?
Live every day in honor of that. Being of purpose and of service to other people that I know is what I need to do.
You know, as you read this book, there are moments when you get honestly infuriated because he keeps making bad decisions. And before this interview, I called a friend of mine who had been through addiction and recovery, and I said, please explain this to me because I don't understand. And he made the point that Hunter makes when he was confronted by his father in that driveway. He said, the thing you need to understand is there is nothing more powerful than addiction, not even your family's love. And he said, for you to understand what he's went through, you have to understand that. And that was the point of empathy I found for him. But as you see, he's made a lot of very dubious judgments over time, and you struggle to come to terms with that.
Well, his father was certainly there for him all the time. His mom, Dr. Joe Biden, his mom too. They certainly never seemed to have given up on him.
They never gave up on him. He's never doubted his parents' love. His father actually intervened before the incident that he describes there at one point in Washington, and literally saved him then too.
If it's possible to pull the politics out of it, I'm left with tremendous sympathy for a family that has been ripped and wounded by this. I mean, no matter how good a parent you are or how bad a parent you are, this can happen to your family, and we're seeing it play out in a very public detail.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Some people are questioning the timing of the book. I think right in the middle, at the beginning of the Biden administration.
Yeah. I wondered
about that. Is this cathartic for him?
Well, that's what my friend told me. He said the thing you need to understand is when you say this all aloud. I mean, he alluded to it about the New Yorker article. That was that telling his story aloud and being honest with himself was very cathartic. And he said that's what this book means to him. It's part of the catharsis.
If it helps him get better, I'm sure Joe Biden's all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a father,
he's got family support for sure.